Most people, upon seeing Vintage Story for the first time, will think it's just another Minecraft knockoff trying to beat the king of block games at his own game. But when you dig deep into the creation and lore of the game, you'll understand that it's not trying to take Minecraft down. It wants to exist alongside of it. It looks similar simply because the people who made Vintage Story loved Minecraft but wanted different things from their games. The story of how Vintage Story became what it is today is not one that I expected when I started the research for this video. Of course, it started with a love for Minecraft, two friends playing it for hours on end. Tyron and Sarati, I believe is how you say their names. I want to preface this by saying that I do not know these people in real life. Everything I say here is based on research that I've done myself and that I will link in the description of the video. All the websites I used. I also want to say that if I mispronounce anybody's name, I want to apologize. I don't know how to pronounce them, and I'm hoping I do my best. This video is made with a love for Vintage Story and the want to show off exactly how the game came to be. Because, in my eyes, the story of its creation is almost as amazing as the game itself, because you get to watch them grow and the things that they do differently. And you get to see where a lot of the aspects came from, a lot of their learning along the way when it came to creating this game. After years of having fun, they decided that they no longer liked the direction that Minecraft was going and made a mod called Butterfly Mania. What, you thought that I was going to say Vintage Craft? No. This goes back a little bit further. This first mod is smaller and simpler, but it has a lot going for it still. The main deal is that it adds 220 realistic behaving butterflies that you catch, research, and display. It adds a net recipe for catching. It adds multiple different frames for you to hang them. There's different jars as well meant for catching, with a different durability on each one depending on what materials you use to make it. There's a lot of detail on this mod. And while it might seem like this has nothing to do with Vintage Story, I think it's very important because this is the lead developer, Tyron's first dip into making something. I believe it's important because you can kind of see the small specks of detail that Vintage Story has. When it comes to like the encyclopedia, the amount of detail that the encyclopedia can go in for each butterfly, it displays how fast they move, it displays their rarity, which biomes that they spawn in. While it might not be Vintage Story, you can certainly see that this is not something that Tyron has just came up with for Vintage Story. You can see that through their first creation of something, there's always been this want for detail and this want for maybe not complexity, but for them to they want you to put more effort into things. When you go to research the butterflies, you have to craft a magnifying glass. And when you research the butterfly, it only drops 1 to 3 fragments of knowledge, which you get from the butterflies that allows you to gain access to more knowledge in the encyclopedia. And you have to capture many different kinds of the butterflies to fully complete that section. So you can't just catch one butterfly and research it over and over again. You have to catch it, research it, release it, find a different one of the same species, research it. You get 1 to 3 fragments of knowledge. And I like looking at this because while it is a much smaller creation, you can see that this amount of detail is consistent. It isn't something that just started with Vintage Story. It has been this way forever. I do want to apologize, as I did not get any footage of either of these mods, simply due to time constraint and the fact that I haven't modded Minecraft in a bit. Been a little busy this week, and to remember how to mod Minecraft, and not only mod Minecraft itself, but also to get myself back to the version that these versions of mods are on, it would take me quite some time to remember how to do that, and I just didn't give myself the time this week to do that, which I need to get better at doing. However, I am going to put up on the screen screenshots of the mods from the mod page. That way, things can be taken care of and you can kind of see what I mean when I'm talking about it. Of course, you didn't click on this video to listen about Butterfly Mania. You clicked because you were interested in VintageStory, or as it started out, VintageCraft. Honestly, when I started out research for this, I assumed that when I looked into VintageCraft, it would have been similar to TerraFirmaCraft. For those of you who don't know, TerraFirmaCraft is a full conversion mod for Minecraft focused on reinventing survival mode, with the goal to create a challenging survival experience, which to me, personally, sounds pretty similar to VintageStory. But actually, VintageCraft started out as mainly just a biome and terrain overhaul. And now this mod was made a while ago, before a lot of the biomes that Minecraft has now. So this was a great mod meant to inspire you to explore and breathe more life into what a lot of players at the time was sort of a bland landscape that Minecraft had. And that wasn't all it was, honestly. There's slightly more realistic ore smelting, there was strata or various rock layers at different depths. There was some new crafting recipes with a plan to release this and then move on it to make it a full conversion mod similar to TerraFirmaCraft, but with less focus on survival. During the creation, however, the limitations of the third-party modding API became more and more apparent. And also around this time, in 2015, Tyron was hired by Hypixel to work on their game Hytale. Now, if you know a lot about Minecraft or watch a lot of Minecraft creators, you will know that as of this time in 2025, going on 2026, Hytale is now set to release soon. So about 10 years ago. However, after a year, Tyron decided to step away because the planning was not something that either parties expected. So in 2016, Tyron decided to walk away and create his own game engine with the goal to turn VintageCraft into its own standalone game, which in my opinion is exactly what they did. They created a game with love, made by people who all started with a love for Minecraft. And with a studio that started as one person, became 25 people who all work hard to make this game realistic, beautiful, but most importantly, a game that is fun to play, alone or with friends. Originally, this video was intended to have two different topics. The creation of the game, which you have listened to me yap about for some time now, and then the lore of the game. I decided to split this into two different videos, as during research I learned that there was a lot more to how this game came to be than I realized, and I didn't want the lore or the creation of this game to be mucked up or things to be glossed over because I didn't take the time to research them properly. I truly love every part of this game, and I want to highlight them in their own topics. So the next video, or the video after, will be a lore video on its standalone, just as VintageStory became its own standalone game. Thank you for listening to me go on about how this game was made. I know there's not a lot of you, but it does mean a lot to me that there are some of you who listen and that you enjoy listening to me yap. And there will be plenty more videos in the future, so I hope you subscribe, and thank you again truly, and I hope you'll stop by for the next one.